he die from?
Busted heart. Somebody blowed a hole clean through it.
It's a rebel cap. Reckon he got away?
Maybe so. Maybe not, for sure.
Now, don't swig it, boy. Just open your craw so as I can pour it right through. The sooner it takes a hold, the better.
My arm, it hurts.
Now, you just drink, boy. Do you no good to look.
The Lord give us two of most everything, boy. So's there'd be one to spare.
Please don't cut my arm. Please don't cut my arm.
Well, it's better than losing your life.
Get me a doctor. Please get me a doctor.
We ain't a town in 100 miles, let alone a doctor.
Tremblor not far. They got one.
That bitty fly speck, only 20, 30 folks. Now, what kind of doctor would hold up there?
I don't care what kind. Get me a Tremblor.
I ain't got no stomach for this myself, boy, but, well, maybe you won't last the trip.
Maybe I'll die quicker from you.
You sure he ain't dead?
Tremblor.
Guess he ain't at that.
Tremblor. Tremblor. Tremblor.
That's right, Reb. Them saddle tramps brung you in.
Arm. My arm.
They brung it with you.
Your doctor. I guess he saved my arm. I gotta pay him somehow.
Gotta pay, huh? How? You gonna sell your saddle?
That's enough, Sam. Tom will take care of the bill.
The usual fee, I suppose.
That bad arm won't keep you from swamping for room and victuals. You'll move across the street to Gaines' horse tower as soon as you're rested.
Doc, how come you're a prisoner?
Lie back there, you young fool. And let those claw marks open up again, I'll amputate that arm.
Doesn't seem right. Holding a doctor prisoner.
You got the wrong word, Reb. I'm a captive. The captive of Tremblor.
Just doing my job, boy. Stranger comes to town, law's got to check. Keep checking.
Why not try the hard way? Like asking.
There's a big jump between what a fella tells and how he acts. I was plumb curious to know if old Doc Bates was telling it straight. About that wing of yours being good for nothing but keeping you from walking tilted. You'd have used it by now, if it was any good.
Why would the doc lie?
You owe him a real debt. He's gonna ask you to help him escape. Gonna say yes and no to him.
Depends on why he's in jail.
Boy, don't try helping the doc to escape. I got too much at stake in him to let anybody do that. And remember, whatever you done, I done it twice as much and twice as good.
Everything? Everything?
What is this, Marshal?
Stumbled. Dropped my gun, Mr. Gain. This here boy was about to scoop it up. Sure he's not as helpless as he looks.
Well, boy, gather the moats and get cleaned up for breakfast. And I'll add what's lost of them to your bill. Waste not, want not.
I'm not too hungry, Pa.
Then you'll finish it up at supper. Now, you'd better get to your chores, Tildy. Something bothering you, boy? You got an itch? Scratch it loud so's we all can hear. I don't abide secrets.
Anything secret about Doc Bates?
You have to go spoil the meat mentioning my prisoner?
He calls himself captive.
So?
There's a difference. Man gets to be a prisoner by doing a wrong. Captive means spoils of war.
Sam Bates is in jail because he busted the law.
He done worse. Sam Bates came to this town a drifter, and we took him in. My Hannah found out that a year more schooling he'd be a doctor.
Hannah?
My Tildy's ma. We had bad need for a doctor, and Hannah saw the match. Tremblor money paid for Sam Bates' schooling, and his end was to pay back the debt by doctoring Tremblor folk. Here now, you take his food to jail.
I'd call keeping Doc Bates for the private use of 20 or 30 folk a shameful waste of skill.
Waste! My Tildy's ma died waiting the year for Sam Bates, for want of a doctor that could have saved her in days. Now you match that for waste. Don't you cross me, boy. My Tildy was firstborn child in Tremblor, and she got a moral right to the skill of Sam Bates, bought and paid for.
Did ya ever hear tell of sweet Betsy from Pike, who crossed the wide prairie with her lover Ike, with 2 yoke of cattle and 1 spotted hog, a tall Shanghai rooster and old yeller dog?
What's all that squalling about, you consarn pipsqueak? Bellyache holler?
Nothing wrong with me, Doc. It's my engine dog, see?
Well, you referring this case to me?
Looks like epizootis. The whole cranial's full up of it.
No, I don't know, Dr. Tildy. Seems more like Flopiosis legolio. You check her tongue for color?
Yeller. Gruesome yeller.
What'd your breakfast, Doc?
Use it for hog swill.
Why don't you stop being so hateful?
I got nothing but hate for this whole town. Don't think you're not part of it, you miserable pipsqueak.
Jailbird! Jailbird! You jailbird! Jailbird!
gave you back that arm. Now you can give me back my life. Help me get away. Why, they don't have to lock me in here, not with 100 miles and nothing between here and anywhere.
The marshal said you'd ask me.
They got no right to hold me in this bone-hard water hole.
The marshal said he's holding you because you broke the law.
You ever hear of a man getting 60 days for expectorating on the sidewalk? Law. Conspiracy's more like it. Why can't cross that street out there without violating one of the marshal's laws?
What about the deal you made?
There was a money deal. I offered to pay him back in kind, but they won't let me. I made no deal to be their bondservant.
Then just don't use your skill, Doc. You'd be no good to them, and they'd have to let you go.
I'm a doctor, Johnny. The oath I swore to use my skill wherever needed it. That was no pick and choose deal.
They still got some moral right on their side, Doc.
Gain told you that, huh? Did it all for that child he treats like chattel. Well, what's moral about hiding selfish greed behind his lying bargain? Simple greed!
Prove it's only that, Doc, and I'll pay your fee.
You can prove it yourself, Johnny. Just look around.
And this'll be New Tremblor town.
Quite a dream.
No dream. The railroad's coming this way. All we've got to do is hold on.
Lots of it'll be mine. Couple of saloons, gambling hall. And seeing as you're asking so many questions, boy, we gotta have Doc Bates to do it.
So you bought the town a slave.
Who give you the word to judge? You'd be crowbait if it wasn't for us holding the dock.
Leave him be.
Unhitch the buckle before I blast it loose.
Get back to the stable. There's cleaning up to be done.
There sure is, Mr. Gain. There sure is.
Nerve shock, that's all it was. Nothing broken. Bones, muscles, blood vessels, all intact.
Nobody but the two of us know my hand's all right. It's the edge we need, Doc. Our Trojan horse. You still want to get out?
Ready your horse for the dock. Don't unsaddle mine. I'm sawing lizard bed low and I'm sneaking pains.
Johnny, you seen Tildy?
She's riding her own.
Why does she always do what I say no to?
You ever tell her anything else?
make it this time, Marshal.
Just try it, you no-count drifter. I've been itching for a chance to blast your head off, and now Gain ain't here to protect you.
I'm here, Marshal.
How's your arm, boy?
Good enough to hold a gun.
Back shooting's a mighty big law to bust, Reb. You ain't the law-busting type.
Try me, or drop the gun. Rest easy, they won't come near a fire.
I've been wandering all my life, Johnny. Always ready to call the next campfire home.
I guess it's been the same way with me.
No, that's not so, boy. We're different deep inside. You've been looking for something. Me, I've just been running all my life.
From what, Doc?
Same thing you're looking for, whatever that is. What's that?
Journal. Moving around, things stick in your mind. People, ideas. Maybe I'll write about them someday.
Well, good night, Johnny.
Wake up, Doctor. You're wanted. You've got to come back to Trembler.
I'd rather die, you know that.
You're not taking him anyplace, Mr. Gain. If you'd care to argue about it.
No. No, Johnny. No fight.
Then why did you come?
To beg. I told her to stay off of that roan, but she wouldn't listen. My Tildy, Doc. She got thrown. Lord knows what happened, but she won't move. She won't move.
Might be a trap to take you back.
Sure. Back to my bargain.
I'll pay off every cent you owe. You'll be free to go as you please if you'll just try to help my little girl.
Doesn't sound like he's lying.
What if he is?
You'll never know unless you go back. Will you, Doctor? All right, Mr. Gain, we'll chance it. You as a hostage. Did you ever hear tell of sweet Betsy from Pike, who crossed the wide prairies with her lover Ike? With 2 yoke of cattle and 1 spotted hog, a tall Shanghai rooster, and an old yaller dog.
My engine dog?
Just sleep, honey. Just sleep.
Maybe that bump will knock some sense into her. One of these every 3 hours until the fever breaks. She's gonna be all right.
Come on, Doc. We got a long ride ahead of us.
Doc's not riding any place. Neither are you, Reb. Who'll be the worse if I kill you, boy?
You'll go with me, Marshal. You had it all planned, Mr. Gain. You should have known.
Let the boy go. I'll stay here. Work out my debt.
You've got no debt, Doctor. I'm paying it in full, including the interest.
Give it to the Marshal. It's legal in front of 2 witnesses. Mighty clumsy handling all that silver and the rifle, too. The bargain's over.
Not for me, it ain't. You think I let this Reb shake loose his stake I got in this town? All the easy money that's gonna be here?
I gave my word.
I didn't! I'm gonna kill me a gray-bellied cottonmouth. And then things will be like they were, Mr. Gain.
Let's go, Doc.
I can't, Johnny.
He's dead. There's nothing to stop you now.
Yeah, I know. I guess I'm just not going.
You hate this town, Doc. A couple of hours ago, you were willing to die rather than stay here.
Yeah. An hour ago, Tremblor was my prison. Now I'm free to choose. What'll they do without a doctor, Johnny? The railroad will be coming through. Be ranches and homesteads. And a whole town full of Tildies.
I'm glad you found yourself a place, Doc. Me, I gotta keep looking.
Thanks, Johnny. Good hunting.
Come in, Reitlinger, come in. Findings of the Court of Inquiry convened by order of the Commander, 18th Military District on February 3rd, 1915.
The court finds that there are no grounds for bringing criminal charges against Oberleutnant Wilhelm Reitlinger.
I'm guilty, Herr President.
It is the decision of this court that you are to be granted a month's leave, at the end of which time you will return to duty with your unit.
I protest. I'm guilty. I demand a trial. Am I never to be punished for what I've done?
Not unless I charge you with insubordination. You already have a bad enough record. You were posted away from your regiment because you were thought to be difficult, troublesome, and temperamentally unstable. As an officer, you have been a complete and utter failure. Your conduct before this court a disgrace. You are dismissed, Oberleutnant. This court is closed. You can take my word for it, Doctor. He's as mad as a hatter.
But that's the extraordinary thing. He isn't.
Look, either he's mad or he did commit the crime. And we all know perfectly he wasn't there when it happened. One has to be logical. 2 and 2 always make 4.
What's the matter with these men? Are they sick? They spent the whole morning just putting up 1, 2, 3 telegraph poles. It won't do. We are 5 days behind schedule already. This work has got to be done. I want to be ahead of schedule. Is that clear? Ahead! I'm going back to the farmhouse. Have the wagon sent round.
Your Herr Oberleutnant.
Open up! Open this door!
Good evening.
23rd Signals Unit. This is Oberleutnant Reitlinger. He wishes to talk with you.
You own this land? You own this land? Yes. Now, we should be laying a wire here tomorrow. The work will take 2 or 3 days. We should be putting up a field kitchen in the yard out there, and you will be expected to provide any facilities we require.
You are the ones who are putting up the poles. What are they for?
They're for a telephone wire.
So that Army Group headquarters can talk with Freiburg and Berlin.
Talk to Berlin.
Look, I haven't got all evening. The regulations require that you sign this paper. If any damage is done to your land, you can apply to the military authorities.
I don't know. Poles across my land. Voices talking to Berlin. It will frighten the animals.
You won't hear any voices. Now, sign this paper. Make your mark, whatever it is you do.
You had better come back tomorrow. I have to talk to the others.
Aren't you alone here?
No. They are the animals.
What did you say?
My animals.
An entire army group is waiting for his telephone wire, and you wish to consult your cows? Perhaps you have not noticed that we are at war.
I have noticed. It is a hideous thing, war.
It is a glorious thing, and it is your patriotic duty to assist the armed forces. Do I have to remind you of that?
No, you do not. I thought very much about the war. Sometimes when I sit here at night alone, I listen. I hear the death cries of millions of men. So much disaster. Some nights it is so bad I can hardly bear it. And a great heaviness hangs in the air. Destiny is not going to favor your arms.
So now we are going to lose the war. I could have you arrested for that kind of talk. Are you aware of that?
Yes. But I can't help knowing what I know. I can't help seeing what I see, my friend.
Herr Oberleutnant, show a little respect. Indulging in defeatist talk, interfering with the military in the pursuit of their duties. But we are going to lay that wire, and you will kindly sign this.
You are a much troubled man, Herr Lieutenant. Why? Is it so that these voices can reach Berlin? Or do you have another reason? Some more important reason, some reason closer to your heart? You drive yourself hard.
You're troubled, perhaps, with good cause.
Landlord. Landlord!
Yes, Sir Oberleutnant?
He's got that letter out again. He must have read it 100 times already. I wonder who she is. Is she very pretty?
You want me to forget your friends?
They're drinking a lot tonight.
It's none of your business. Anyway, what does it matter? Another village, another tavern, another kilometer of wire. It's all right for you, it's your job. I'm only here to see that work is finished in time. Hey, you!
You! Here!
Herr Oberleutnant? Tell me something. Man we met today, farmer who lives at the head of the valley. You know him?
Which farmer, Herr Oberleutnant?
One who talks to his animals.
Oh, yes, Herr Oberleutnant. You all know him. Klaus Kanak.
Hey. Oh, come back. What's the matter with you? You're frightened.
No, no.
Yes. You're frightened. Why?
Others are frightened, Herr Oberleutnant. Simple people, you know. They say he can set a neighbor's house on fire just with a thought. The trees talk to him. He can read the future. See things that are happening a long way away.
And you believe that?
If I may give my advice, Herr Oberleutnant, have nothing to do with this man. He is dangerous. If a farmer talks to his animals, I am not interested. Only if the animals talk back, huh? Where are you going?
One of you stupid peasants. What is it you're supposed to be able to do, anyway? What is this great secret of yours? You can see into the future, is that it?
I can see things.
You know, you rather impressed me this evening. You were right about something. There is another reason. It has nothing to do with telephone wires.
A letter. It says nothing. And everything.
I love her.
You have good reason to worry.
What can you see? Tell me. Tell me.
Why don't you go and see for yourself?
That's impossible.
Nothing is impossible. You can go in less time than it takes to think about it.
You farmer, I didn't come here to be made a fool of. You just, well, you made a wild guess. You were right, as it happens, but you can't fool me.
You can go.
What are you doing? You can go. What are you doing? Just one more step. One more step.
Pussy!
Hans.
Liebling, I'm Johann.
Oh, I'm sorry. Too much wine. War. War is everybody saying goodbye, isn't it? A railway station.
Speaking of railway stations, the 71st Grenadiers are leaving also. I expect I shall see you there.
How dare you sneak in here and spy on me? You've been hiding. And you're drunk. You were coming to Berlin, you should have told me. Well, don't look like that. This is typical of you. I never knew such a man for making himself ridiculous. Well, let's have a drink. Celebrate your homecoming. It would be nice, wouldn't it? Aren't you going to say anything? Berlin has changed. Everything's different now.
Where's your mother?
She doesn't come up here anymore. I lead my own life. There's such a feeling of enthusiasm, of excitement, everybody going mad. You couldn't possibly understand.
But I do understand. I understand very well. You adopted the 71st Grenadiers.
I just ran out of the last grenadier. Isn't it a pity? Wilhelm, my letter. It was perfectly clear.
Yes, perfectly clear.
What a extraordinary character you are. How did you get away from your telephone poles? I'm sorry, Willem. But you're so unfortunate. Things seem to happen to you that could never happen to anybody else.
That officer who left just now. Not in love with him, are you?
I'm in love with all of you. Does that shock you? They are going to the front, to fight, to do great and wonderful things for me. What have you ever done for me? I don't like being taken for granted. I am not your property, and I resent being preached to and spied on. I may have said I was in love with you. Perhaps at the time I even thought I was. Absurd as it seems. You know, there is something rather absurd about you, Willem. There always has been. Your behavior tonight would have been absolutely infuriating if it weren't so comical.
hypnotized me. Yes, that's what you did. You hypnotized me. I'd heard about that sort of thing. So that was your secret. I did nothing. I only helped you to go where you wanted. You're fake. You're an extremely clever one, but you're fake. And I must say I'm extremely glad that you are, because you gave me one of the worst frights I've ever had in my life. But that was your idea, wasn't it? Lights. Something to do with lamps shining into people's eyes. You must show me how you do it one of these days. Meanwhile, I congratulate you.
Now has more reason to worry.
Willem, wake up. Willem, please wake up.
What time is it?
It's nearly 6.
As late as that? Has the working party left yet?
Willem,
What's the matter with you?
there's someone outside to see you. A sergeant from the military police. You must go with him to Mulheim right away.
What's he talking about?
Listen, you have a girl in Berlin. Elsa Bruck.
Yes.
She's dead. The sergeant wanted me to tell you. Murdered, they think. Last night there was a shooting.
Shooting? Shooting?
I'm sorry, I know how you must feel shocked. If there's any way I can help.
No. No, thank you. Please go away. There should be 9. There should be 9. There should be 9.
Herr Major, it was I who fired that shot. Fräulein Bock said so herself. She said it was me. You heard the police testimony.
Stand to attention, Oberleutnant. We have already wasted enough of our time. For 3 days, we've had to sit and listen to this hysterical nonsense. You could not possibly be one place one moment and 800 kilometers away the next moment. Why you insist on such madness is beyond me. But then your conduct throughout has been disgraceful and totally unbefitting to an officer. The facts of the case are crystal clear. Crystal clear, Oberleutnant. There's absolutely no possibility of our having made a mistake. What is less clear is how you ever managed to hold a commission in a fighting regiment. It would seem that the army can be wrong sometimes. I doubt if it's any use my appealing to your sense of shame. I hesitate to advise you. Though it would seem there's only one course open for a man in your position. That you attempt to retrieve your honor by any means that might suggest themselves to you.
Will I never be punished for what I've done? The bullet that matched this gun, my gun, what Elsa said herself. Can't I get anyone to believe me?
You were seen half an hour before the shooting by your own man. And Berlin is 800 kilometers away. And yet, as a doctor, I often have to say, I don't know. You see, when the pieces of the puzzle don't fit, We begin by getting angry, and then we throw the puzzle away and pretend it doesn't exist. What did you expect? You tell us some wild tale about a sorcerer, a man who has anyway denied all knowledge of the affair.
He was lying, Doctor. Or I am insane. One of the two.
Your file at the hospital has been marked not yet diagnosed, which is our way of avoiding the issue. With the best will in the world, we could do no more.
You don't really know how to tell me what you're thinking about, do you?
I'm a man of science. I can only say I don't know.
But I'm not insane. I killed her. This they will believe. And they did. Oberleutnant Wilhelm Reitlinger was executed for the murder of the farmer Klaus Karnick on March the 8th, 1915. The records of this amazing case were discovered among the files of the German War Ministry. And somewhere, moldering with age to be sure, but somewhere, is a hospital file labeled Wilhelm Reitlinger, not yet diagnosed. A question waiting to be answered.